What's up, guys? We're back with another One Piece tier list, and we're going to be ranking all the emotional moments in One Piece. We know how One Piece moves. We know that One Piece loves to give us emotional moments all over the place, so this is going to be a fun one to do. If you're new here, my name is Romans, aka Roman Sensei. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join the crew if you haven't yet. Now, in my last video, when I ranked every single admiral in One Piece, I let you guys know I was still a little sick. I did get a little bit more sick after that video, so I had to take a few days off, but we're back. As you see on the tiers, I have the top tier is Terrible Day for Rain. Then we have In My Feels, Emotionally Impactful, I'm Good but Still Impactful, and then It Is What It Is. So basically, we're just gonna be ranking how emotional these moments were to you. Everyone's ranking is gonna be different as always. I can't wait to see your opinions, your rankings in the comments below. It's always fun reading your comments. Let's just dive into this, man. The first moment we have right here is Shanks and Luffy when Shanks saved Luffy and he lost his arm. I'm already gonna put this at emotionally impactful. It doesn't have to get you just crying, doesn't have to get you screaming at the TV or anything, but even your first watch or first read of it, you already get that feeling that it's going to be very impactful throughout the whole story. And as you go through the story, you start to feel emotions within that moment, more than you felt originally. I'm gonna start off with it at emotionally impactful. We'll see. Next up we have, oh man, we have Shushu the goat. I mean, come on now. I know people love animals, people love dogs. Shushu is a complete OG. I want to start off with him at emotionally impactful. Oh man, just seeing that image of him just standing there, you know? I'm gonna start off with emotionally impactful. It might move up. Next we have is Zoro. Oh, come on now, this is right after Mihawk. I will never lose again. Just thinking about that right now, it gives me chills. I'm still in my feels about it, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna put it right there. Definitely think that Zoro deserves to be in my feels because that moment still, you are reminded about that moment so many times throughout the story after that, you know? You're just like, dang, he made that pledge. You cannot lose again. That's his vow to his captain. Yeah, but I could go on about that. I can go on about Zoro moments. So now this next one, some people may not be happy about this, but you know, it's Sanji saying bye to Zeph. I'm going to put this one at I'm good, but still impactful. It didn't get me, I didn't really feel any emotion, you know, from it because of everything else that he has been through before Zeph. It was still a very impactful scene. His farewell, the words he said to Zeph, you know, it was very, I don't know, it just didn't get me there, you know? It didn't get me where I wanted to go when I'm just like, oh, Oda. So at the moment, we're just gonna put it, I'm good, but still impactful. Next one we have up is Bellemere. Now look, this scene right here, when Bellemere's standing up for her kids, I mean, come on, emotionally impactful. You know, Oda's really good at that. He's really good at making certain moments so emotional, even if it doesn't involve, you know, a monumental character, you know, because no offense to Bellemere, you know, she isn't a monumental character. She is the Nami's character. And I think because of that, yeah, emotionally impactful for Nami and her sister. Now, the next one we have up is Nami crying at Arlong Park, asking Luffy for help. I don't know about you guys, but this moment right here, it's already giving me chills. I don't know if that's just my cold coming back or something, but no, Terrible Day for Rain. Terrible Day for Rain. That moment right there is really what got me hooked to One Piece. You know, she asked for help and Luffy puts the straw hat on Nami. Oh, come on. I was sold after that. I was completely sold. I'm putting it up there, Terrible Day for Rain, because just talking about it, whew, yeah. Terrible Day for Rain. Now this next one is Laboon. Now from what I am going off of on this picture here, this isn't the Laboon with the scars. You know, when Laboon was doing some things, you know, this is the young Laboon that was talking to the Rumbar pirates in Brook. Yes, it still got me, you know. I don't know if it will be emotionally impactful. I will put this Laboon, young Laboon, at I'm good, but it was still very impactful. That's an interesting one. I might have to go back and look at that one. I don't know. Now remember, if you think one of these should be higher or lower, make sure you just let me know in the comments, guys. I want to know how these moments got you guys feeling. You know, that's the beautiful thing about One Piece. We all feel different about a lot of these moments. Some we feel the same about, some we just don't. Next up we have is Dr. Hirolook. Now look, man, I love Dr. Hirolook's character, his speech, easily one of the best speeches in One Piece. You know, I've seen some people kind of down it and say, oh, it's overhyped, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm putting it at emotionally impactful. Like right now, for example, like look at the ones we have in emotionally impactful. We have Luffy, Shanks, and we can look at Bellamere. These are impactful moments for those characters. These are characters that we're emotionally connected to. I am, at least. And I love Chopper. Yeah, so Dr. Hero look emotionally impactful. I feel like it's fair to put him up there. I know some people are like, whoa, Sanji and Zep, blah, blah, blah. You'll see why. You'll see why. You'll see my logic a little bit later. Now, with the next one we have up, Drum Island, Cherry Blossoms. This one had me on the fence because when it comes to Drum Island, there are a lot of emotional moments. And besides, you know, Dr. Hero look in his speech, I feel like it could have been something else besides this right here from what I'm thinking. But I'm gonna put at... Ooh, that's, you know what? I still might want to put it emotionally impactful, but for now, I'm gonna put it I'm good, but still impactful, you know? Next up, we have Karoo and Vivi and the silent goodbye to the Straw Hats. One of the most impactful, controversial, emotional moments, I feel like, in One Piece. And we still have people saying, oh, she's been a Straw Hat ever since then. You know, me personally, I just feel like she wasn't ready yet. And now, you know, from where we are now, she's more ready. But this was just always a bond, you know, a family bond. Like, you got me, I got you guys, no matter what. And I feel like we're gonna see true meaning of that bond sooner than we think in the manga. Just off how I'm talking about it, yeah, I'm gonna put it in my feels. I'm gonna put it in my feels. If I'm talking about it like that, it has me in my feels. The next one we have up is Noland, the story of Noland, his execution right here. I don't know, am I wrong to say that? I know that the story of Noland is very impactful. I know he's an impactful character, just haven't seen much about him ever since Skypiea. And I feel like sometimes with One Piece, the later you get in the story, certain connections make the moments more emotional. We just haven't gotten anything really since that. So I'm gonna put it at I'm good, but still impactful. Remember, I'm not saying this isn't impactful to the story. It was still impactful to me. I'm gonna put, yeah, not over Young Laboon though. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Now, next up, we have a very controversial one. We have Usopp and Luffy in Water 7. Now, I know a lot of people feel some type of way with this whole situation. There's no other way to explain it, but it impacted you emotionally. We have to put them up here. Yeah, I'm gonna put them right up there next to Shanks and Luffy because this moment here with Luffy and Usopp, I really think it helped define a little bit more of an understanding of their characters at that time. And that's why some people were picking Usopp's side and some were picking Luffy's side. Looking back, I feel like, yeah, some people still might choose the same side, but they understand the other side a little bit more. That this moment here is something that always gets brought up in the fandom, and it's always a fun conversation. I'm gonna put it at emotionally impactful. Definitely. In my feels, I don't have to think about that, man. It at the moment, yeah, I'm gonna put it in my feels. I'm not gonna lie to you. First read, when I'm seeing that, I'm just like, huh? And just thinking about it still, like, it was so much passion. I lean more on Luffy's side with this. Let me know whose side you were on in the comments below, Luffy or Usopp's. Next one we have now is Nico Robin's Ohara backstory, man. Nami's was up there by herself for a while. We're just going to put her up here too, man. Nico Robin's backstory, when we got a dive into that in Enies lobby, that was it for me. I was like, Nico Robin's going to be one of my favorite characters. Are you kidding me? Oda. Her conversation, her short conversation with her mom, Saul, interaction with Aokiji, what Aokiji helped Nico Robin do, which was, you know, escape. It really helped you get a humongous grasp on everything Nico Robin was going through as a child. I have to put up their terrible day for rain. Because if I keep talking about it, it's sunny outside, but it won't be sunny in here. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we have Nico Robin, I Wanna Live. Oh man, I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put Nico Robin's backstory right here. That's a tough one. I might move it back up. I'm putting I Wanna Live at number 1. Enies lobby is a work of art, man. Everything that happens in Enies lobby is just entertainment. It's necessary towards the story. I Wanna Live, shooting down the flag, just, yeah. Terrible day for rain. S tier. Now the next one up, if I am correct, this is Usopp and Luffy why they are leaving, escaping Garp, if I'm correct, right? And you know, Usopp was too prideful and he ended up, you know, grabbing Luffy's hand and getting back on the ship. I'm gonna put it good. It was impactful, but I'm good on it. It was okay. Next up we have is the Going Merry, the fall of the Going Merry, emotionally impactful. Man, I was in my feels. Now, would I put it at, I said I was in my feels. I'm gonna put the Going Merry at emotionally impactful. I felt like in a way, it was the opening of a new chapter for the Straw Hats. Like, Going Merry did what Going Merry was supposed to do for them, and at that time, it was time to say goodbye. I just didn't expect to be emotional about a ship. Next up, we have Brook, and as we can see on this image, this is Brook when, oh man, Brook's past, man. Him and his crew, I mean, it's self-explanatory. What he had to witness on that ship, what he had to go through, even before that, with Yorkie getting sick, and and then him taking over, and then his crew getting sick, and then it just gets worse and worse from there, if I keep talking about it, I will get, so we're just gonna put terrible day for Rain. Brook has one of the saddest One Piece backstories. One of the saddest One Piece backstories in my opinion. It's terrible what he had to go through. Next up we have Luffy. Come on now. This here speaks to me differently in so many levels. I'm definitely putting at emotionally impactful. Because regardless, at that moment, a lot was going on, a lot was going down. His crew members were disappearing left and right. Emotionally impactful. Next up we have Bone Clay. Bone Clay the GOAT, and you already know what this is. In my feels, he did everything he could for Luffy. Got to, man, got to. We all were not Bone Clay fans from the jump, right when he was introduced, and then he just did a complete 180 in Impel Down and became a fan favorite, a fan icon. That moment itself, man, just the whole segment, everything that Bone Clay provided in my feels, man. Ace. I am a little drawn when it comes to the whole situation with Ace. First off, was I shocked when Ace? Yes, I was. I wasn't spoiled, so during it, I just had a feeling. I was like, man, I feel like something just isn't gonna go right because, like, I don't know. I just had that feeling, When it happened, I will say emotionally impactful. I'm not gonna say in my feels because I'll say this. Now, if Luffy's reaction was here after this, then maybe I would say in my feels because to me, what got me just hurting, man, was Luffy's reaction. But now that I'm thinking about it, I might have to put Ace in my feels because when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking of his last words to Luffy. I'm thinking of Luffy holding him. I'm thinking of Ace jumping in front of Luffy while Luffy's trying to go and get Ace's Vivid card. It was just so much going on in my feels. F it, in my feels. We're just gonna do that. This isn't in any particular order, even though it needs to be. No, it looks good. Next up we have is Whitebeard. The One Piece! The One Piece is real! I am trying my hardest not to cough on the mic and scare y'all because I know it can be loud, so I think I'm doing good. Whitebeard is actually one of my favorite One Piece characters. I love what he represents, but I'm putting Whitebeard up in my feels. I'm definitely gonna do that. It's definitely a top tier moment. When I start thinking about these moments, it brings up the whole scene, panels, it got me thinking. I think Whitebeard is good at in my feels. Yeah, such a monumental scene and character for One Piece. Next up we have is Sabo. Sabo no fraud. Now this is when he was taken down, or at least when we thought he was taken down by a celestial dragon. Yeah, this right here, it's hard to say that now since I know how Sabo, moves. It's hard to really judge on this now. Where should I put this? This is just the moment when the celestial dragon took him out in the water. I'm gonna have to I'll put it emotionally impactful. I think that was emotionally impactful. Possibly, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna put it, I'm good, but still impactful. And because of that, I'm gonna put Sanji's up here. Yeah, I'm gonna put Sanji's up here, man. Up at emotionally impactful because I'm tripping for putting that down there, I think. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Sanji's up there, and I'm gonna put Sabo's at I'm good, but still impactful. It didn't really get me, I don't know, when it happened, I was more just like, I was just shook that, wasn't it a rocket launcher or something they used on, bro? I can't remember, but it was still impacted me because I was like, dang, man. Next up, we have Luffy when he says, I still have my crew. I still have my friends. And if you guys still need more context, this is one of the reasons why I say most of the fandom, from what I've seen, sleeps on Jinbei. Because this moment right here is easily one of the most emotional moments for him. It's so empowering. Luffy was literally spiraling, and Jinbei was right there, the only one. He didn't have to be. He wasn't on the crew. He was fulfilling his promise already from the jump, before the blood transfusions, all of this. And he made him remember. Oh, man. Let me calm down. All I'm trying to say is terrible day for Rain. You guys gotta stop sleeping on Jinbei, man. That whole moment, I was hurting for Luffy, man. Next up, we have the Dawn, and just off that face alone, I think we know exactly what scene this is. This is the Dawn when she decided to give Garp the work after Marineford. And I mean, hey, I know I was not the only one that was cheering the Dawn on. I just wanted her to go, and just wail on him because I was mad at Garp at that time. That's when Garp became one of the most controversial characters in One Piece. And the Don was doing what a lot of us were wanting to do. I'm gonna have to put it emotionally impactful. That's tough. Someone could easily put it up in my feels because that was a hurting moment, man. Because when you think about it, Garp basically asked her to raise Luffy and Ace. So of course she's mad. She just saw what you did let happen to the boy that you asked her to raise. Come on now. Those are the reasons why sometimes Garp be ugh. Next one we have up is Fisher Tiger. Now, Fisher Tiger's backstory, the flashback, whatever you want to call it, yeah. This is a tough one. Definitely emotional about it. From the jump, I'm gonna put it at emotionally impactful. I need y'all to hear me out with this though. We got a better understanding of what was really going on in the One Piece world with the fishmen. We just see the type of character that Fisher Tiger was, and we see how much pain he was feeling for his own people. Even though he could not break his cycle, he was telling them do not repeat after him and break the cycle. It was very impactful. I'm just gonna have it up there. I have to. Now, the next one we have up is Orihime, and it looks like it's the death of Orihime. As we know, she was King Neptune's wife. From what we got to see with Orihime was cool. I like the flashbacks we got with Orihime, but I just don't know why. I don't think it really, I just don't know why. Everything that we got from Fisher Tiger, it's more emotional to me than everything that we got from Orihime. And I get how Orihime went down, but in my eyes, it was kind of expected. It was a flashback. You know, when we were seeing Orihime, I was like, okay. Whenever Orihime left, I was like, she's not coming back. It is what it is. Some people may not agree with that. Let me know what you think about in the comments. Next up we have, oh man, come on man. Next up we have is Mocha. Now, as some of you know, I am a dad. I do have kids. Caesar's trash, man. For this scene right here, I mean, you guys know what this scene is. You know, it's at Punk Hazard. We already know what was happening to the kids there, and Mocha was just being a MVP. We're gonna put this at nowhere lower than emotionally impactful in my book. Come on now. She was doing OG stuff that adults aren't strong enough to do. You know what I'm saying? That picture alone just, yeah, we're gonna have it on emotionally impactful. Mocha, you get your shine. You're gonna get your shine. I promise. The next one we have up, that's most likely why I wanted to put the original Sabo's death at I'm good but still impactful. When Luffy finds out that Sabo is alive, I was so happy for him, man. In my feels. Some people just might say, oh, emotionally impactful, but look, you have to think of it this way, man. He already moved on. I guess you can say it's a trait that slept on with Luffy. He learns to adapt with reality very well. For example, when he was in Wano, you know, when O was bringing up Ace, he wasn't shedding a tear. He accepted, he knew. So he was already in that state of mind in Dressrosa when it came to Sabo. So when Sabo pops back up, oh, come on. Yeah, in my feels, I was happy. He's not alone anymore. Yes, he has his crew, but you know, he didn't have his brothers. Him knowing that Sabo was alive, I mean, come on, yeah, in my feels. And you guys know I love Sabo, so had to do it. Oda, he gives us some moments, man. And luckily, I'm not doing any moments that are after Wano. That's just gonna have to be on a separate video. That's a separate video. Next up, we have, so we have Kyros, however you want to say his name. Dressrosa, when he was still a puppet, when he saw his wife's death. Seeing all of this in Dressrosa really made you realize how much of a villain Dofi is, like a good villain. You don't have to condone what Dofi is doing, but as a villain, yeah, because come on, bro. That shit was sad. That's why I'm happy that him and Rebecca had the reunion, because if he did not reunite with his daughter, Oda, still a little sick. I can't be blitzing the camera like that, but I'm definitely gonna say, I don't know what. We'll go and put this, we'll just say in my feels. I think that's fair. Come on now. Yeah, oh, it tried to make its way up there. Terrible day for rain. I mean, it is. Should I keep the Usopp Luffy one up in my feels? I'm trying to think about it. I'm gonna move it down. I'm gonna move Usopp and Luffy down. I'll put them right next to the Going Merry. There we go. Next up, we have Trafalgar Law. You guys know Trafalgar Law is one of my favorite characters in One Piece. It's when he's a child and we get his flashback. That's what I'm just going off of this image. As we know, gruesome backstory. He had to hide under bodies to survive. He lost all his loved ones. In my feels. I mean, that's an automatic in my feels. Terrible day for rain? Not quite yet. The next one is why though. But yeah, we're just gonna put this up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Law's backstory is horrific, man. I was like, dang. It really helped you get a better understanding of his character. Now I see why Law sometimes is like an emo kid who doesn't want to smile or laugh at anyone. He don't have time for that. He's lost everyone. It takes a lot to make Trafalgar Law smile, you know. Beppo can't, who can? No one can. So yeah, I think we're gonna have it right. I'm gonna have it, I don't know, it's somewhere there. I'm gonna just, some of these might not be in the order, just in the right category because I start overthinking it so much. Next one though is Korra. Look, Korra's last stand, his last words to Law, what he did for Law, how he stood up for Law against his own brother. Terrible day for rain. Come on now. Honestly, like you look at the ones up Terrible Day for Rain, I could go back and reread or rewatch those panels right now. I could be feeling some type of way for a bit. Come on now, just what? Come on now. The next one we have is the dragon that Kanjuro drew. What was his name? Ryunosuke, right? And I know the scene when they finally made it up and he faded away. I didn't know if it was a gag or not, you know. I'm just gonna put it is what it is. The dragon helped him get up, you know, and then he just went away in One Piece fashion. I'm gonna just have it right down there. I don't know about that one. Next one we have here is Dofi's dad. It's the flashback for Korra and Dofi. I've heard some people say, oh man, Dofi's flashback is sad. It's crazy. To me though, it's just not sad. It's not sad. Like I get like his dad wanted to do the right thing. And his dad, you know, eventually didn't make it, but at whose hand? I'm just gonna put this as it is what it is. It didn't really have me feeling all type of emotional or any type of way. That story really wasn't giving me emotional, man. Come on. When people can't take what they were dishing out, that stuff doesn't make me emotional. You guys know what I mean. I'm gonna keep it down there though. Let me know what you guys think about that. Next up we have is Sanji. Sanji's backstory, as we see, it is when he is a child, locked up. He has that helmet on. We all remember this. When we finally started getting these flashbacks with Sanji, I started getting a better appreciation for his character. Does he still have that one dramatic flaw in his character, the trope? Yes, that's one of the biggest reasons why that's one thing I just have Zoro over Sanji because of that's a big reason. Besides that, I feel like Sanji's character profile, perfect, especially with Whole Cake Island. Whole Cake Island was a phenomenal arc, especially when it came to character development and building for Sanji as a kid, emotionally impactful. When I saw everything he was going through, saw his relationship with his mom, you can't not be emotional about that, especially when you finally understand some of his reasonings with certain things, you know, not the trope. We got to see his relationship with his sister. Yes, his relationship with his brothers were trash. It really helped you get a better understanding. Definitely appreciated that. That was well done by Oda. Next one we have again, Sanji. Sanji went through a lot in Whole Cake. Now, if I'm correct, this is when, man, he got the light skin face on, man. That had to be right when he saw Pudding's true colors. So this was a tough one for Sanji, honestly. When you think about it, he did what he had to do to try and save his crew. So after he accepted the fact, my crew's safe, I'm here doing this now. You know, he's trying to accept his reality. And then he sees the true colors of everything and sees how that person is, the person that he was gonna try and like love and marry. After giving up everything to save his crew, it broke him. At least that's how I took it. And I just think that he deserves to be up there in my feels. That I was like, dang, I was hurting for Sanji. I was like, what? Bro's doing everything he can. Next one we have up right here, Sanji crying in the carriage. We all know what happened before this, man. Like, this whole arc, Sanji had to do what he didn't want to do. Every action, that takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot out of you. So I mean, thinking about that, everything he had to do, everything he did going against the grain, he was going against his own morals to save his crew. So that was hurting him every step, because remember, he's Mr. Prince. He is about morals, so he says, and he does follow a lot of his morals, most of them, and he had to go against a lot with this, you know. I think this one deserves to be Terrible Day for Rain. Sanji went through it Whole Cake, man. Whole Cake Island is a really good arc. If you guys want a video on me just breaking Whole Cake Island down or another arc, let me know in the comments. Next one we have up is, oh man, The Last Stand of Pedro. I'm just saying that, I don't know what you could call it. I'm gonna put this at emotionally impactful. It really was. Everything that, oh man, gotta put it right there. I feel like him going the way he went, that not only fueled the rest of the characters to keep going, it it really was like passing the baton to another character to continue fighting for the new dawn. They always bring his flashbacks back and it just hits perfectly. Like even when Luffy was fighting Kaido and he was transforming back into Gear 5, you know, he was like, Pedro, I got hype, man. All you gotta do is bring this picture up one time in a new episode or something and have someone just think of Pedro during a fight, and I guarantee you, we're gonna be like, yes, let's go. Next one again is Sanji from the Whole Cake Island arc, and it's him when he says, I want to go back to my crew. Sanji's character development in Whole Cake it's really good. Oh, it's really good. That's why I don't want people to get confused. You ask me, Sanji, Zoro, who am I more of a fan of? I'm gonna say Zoro. You ask me, who's the best written Straw Hat? I'm gonna say Sanji before Zoro any day. Who has the best character development in the Straw Hats? In my opinion, Sanji. So I'm gonna put this at, it has to be in my feels. I'm gonna put him right next to him again and right next to Zoro. That's perfect. That's perfect. Next up, man, we have Shimotsuki Yasui. Oh man. Oh man, Toko's father. Come on. When he did what he did in Wano, Toko was right there. The delivery scene for this panel, everything for this, that whole, Oda did such a great job with this. In my feels, I'm just thinking if I should put it up at Terrible Day for Rain, because we have to think about the build-up before and even after. Right after, what did we see right after, man? Sanji and Zoro pull up and save Toko, and that right there, I was hyped, man. I was hyped. So I feel like this at least deserves in my feels. Definitely deserves in my feels. Yeah, definitely deserves in my feels. Definitely deserves that. Next up we have is Hiyori. I'm gonna be honest with you, anything involving Hiyori except I think right when they both finally saw that their granddad was alive. Hiyori don't really be getting me in my feelings like that. Everything she did in Wano was impactful. Yeah, we're gonna put her. I'm good. Still impactful. She never got me. I don't know. I'm gonna put her at the very bottom though. I'll say. I don't know. No. Yeah, I don't know. Next one, more my speed right here. Oden. Look, man. The way that Oden went down is not talked about enough. How powerful like his death was. He was holding all of them up while boiling. Oden was built different. I know some people like, oh, blah, blah, his hairstyle irks me out and stuff. It's One Piece. He's not gonna end up having hair like Momonosuke. But no, this moment right here, definitely impactful, had to be in my feelings. All the flashbacks that we got in Wano, top tier. Come on now, we got all the flashbacks with Roger, Whitebeard, Oden traveling with them. And then this, emotionally impactful. Because this was basically, you know, it all was a stepping stone to the Straw Hats getting to Wano. You know, so it's so cool how it all connects like that. Man, how he was holding them up, man, over the fire was so damn cold. Maybe not over, no, not the Going Merry, not the Going Merry. I'm tripping. All right, next up we have Nami, and if I'm correct, this is when Nami was fighting Ulti and was making her say that, I think it was like Kaido's gonna be king of the pirates, but she's like, no, Luffy's gonna be king of the pirates, and she was refusing to say what Ulti wanted her to say. I don't know if I could put it up at emotionally impactful. You know, to me, Nami has had more moments than that. Obviously, like the Terrible Day for Rain one. I'm gonna put at I'm good, but still impactful. It was cool for that moment, showing how much she believes. But yeah, we're just gonna have that right here at I'm good, but still impactful. And last but not least, we have Kinemon. As you can tell from this picture right here, that is the image when Luffy walks up to them and Kinemon is just leaking. But all of them leaking. This is one of the most, I wouldn't say emotional moments for me, but it was one of the most powerful moments in One Piece, the whole segment. So I'm gonna say emotionally impactful. You know, I'm just taking this picture as Kinemon talking to Luffy. You know, I'm not going to look at it as, you know, Luffy asked Law to get him off the roof and then he pops up and gives him a big red rock and shit gets crazy on the roof. I'm not counting that with that image, just so you guys know and have some context. Because, I mean, the flashbacks with that, you know, when Luffy goes up and he just goes into his body and you start seeing all the flashbacks of everything that they've all been through, all the people that are gone and stuff. If that was on here as its own, oh, it'd be higher. It'd be higher. But that right there, right, emotionally impactful, that's what started a lot of it. That's what started, you know, that was right when Luffy got to the rooftop. You know what? I don't know why, but I'm really thinking about moving Sanji's I want to go back to, like, higher than Zoro. I don't know. That's tough because we've never seen someone else in that position Sanji was in. When he left the crew and he's like, I want to come back. Yeah, that's a tough one. We're just gonna say Zoro and that moment are tied because that's just hard to decide on. That's hard to decide on. But yeah, guys, that is all for this tier list right here Of course, some things might need to be moved around. The moment I start editing this, I'm probably gonna wanna move some things around. That's why we'll just do update list. I do plan on starting live streaming with you guys soon in the near future, so we can start doing tier lists together on live streams and a whole lot of other stuff, chapter reviews, whatever you guys wanna do. Thank you so much for bearing with me with my congestion and me not being 100%. But like I said, I made a promise to you guys. We're gonna keep these long forms coming out. I just had to take a few days off to get some energy to do that for you guys. So thanks for bearing with a lot of the draft videos that I posted on shorts and everything. Also, a late thank you to you guys. We have surpassed 200K subscribers. I'm able to take care of my family better than I was during my cancer battle because of you guys. We're a huge family and I appreciate you guys so much. I just wanted you to know that. So if you aren't part of the crew yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the crew. We love to have you. It's positive vibes all the time over here. But yeah guys, that's all for this video, and who knows, the next video might be a review video over chapter 1100. But until next time, much love and God bless.